Arrested in Indianapolis? Is the Marion County Prosecutor's Office breathing down your neck? Got you confused on what comes next or what to do? Here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, we are fighting cases in Indianapolis constantly. In fact, it is where we built our practice. It's where our practice started, was in Indianapolis. So when you're searching for an attorney, you want to make sure that you find someone who is familiar and understands how that particular county works. Indianapolis is no different. In fact, with Indianapolis being the biggest county in the state, they also have one of the most large courtrooms, or courthouses for that matter, in the entire state, with 36 different courts. That's 36 different judges. In most cases, 72 different prosecutors. In most cases, more than that, because each individual court is going to have multiple prosecutors. So when you find yourself in these situations, it's very important that you're talking to attorneys familiar with that area, especially when it comes to Indianapolis, Marion County, who deal with these prosecutors, who deal with these judges, who deal with, most importantly, these court staff members on a daily basis. Because if you're arrested in Marion County, things can generally heat up and move pretty quickly in some instances. A lot of times when you're arrested, if you're stuck in jail, they're going to set your initial hearing usually within 3 days, 72 hours. And that's true throughout the entire state unless you're released from custody. But if you're in custody, your first hearing is likely going to be within the first 72 hours unless the state asks for a little bit longer. At that first appearance, judges are going to tell you what you are charged with, the possible penalties, but most importantly, they want your game plan on what you're going to do with regards to hiring an attorney. And this is the most important thing, because when you are looking for an attorney in Indianapolis, you want somebody who knows and is familiar with not only the layout of the courtroom, the layout of the entire courthouse, which in Indianapolis is not that old. In fact, it is just built, that new Justice Center. Long gone are the days of the CBC downtown, and now we have the CJC, the Community Justice Campus. So it's very important that you are picking or hiring the right attorney that understands the intricacies not only of the particular courts, but have experience dealing with these prosecutors. Why is that important? Because if you go with that family friend, you go with somebody who's not familiar with the prosecutors, guess what? These prosecutors likely aren't that familiar with that particular attorney. What does that mean for you? Well, the prosecutor isn't afraid that a particular attorney will go to trial, other than that attorney saying, "Here, I'll take this case to trial." There's no way the prosecutor is going to get on the internet, try to figure out how many trials this person has done. Relationships with these prosecutors are built over time. They're built over experience. And most importantly, they're built over the fact that we do trials all the time. And these prosecutors know that when it comes to dealing with us, we are not afraid to take a case to trial. When it comes to out-of-town attorneys, when it comes to people who aren't as familiar maybe with criminal defense entirely, there's not as much familiarity between that attorney and the prosecutor, meaning the prosecutor is going to be less likely to want to deal, less likely to want to try to negotiate with that particular attorney, because they think they're better. They think they have more experience. They know how that Marion County, how Indianapolis works, where this other person who may not have many cases in Indianapolis is not as familiar. So if you find yourself confused, you need to, number one, make sure you have an attorney familiar with Indianapolis. Here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, we are there constantly. But most importantly, we want to make sure that you stay informed. So if there's any time that you have questions, not only are you going to have phone conference link for multiple attorneys, you're also going to have a designated paralegal as well. You can set up a time to chat with us literally anytime you want. It's as simple as clicking a link and giving us a call. So if you find yourself in a situation, or you find your loved one in a situation, or someone you know in a situation where they're charged in Indianapolis, give us a call at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, 317-632-3642. Let us fight for you. And remember, always plead the fifth.